Well, hello and welcome back, everybody, to the automation station here with the PeakBot team, exploring all things automation and options. Happy Friday, Ben. How are you, man?
Doing good. Happy Friday. Finally feeling like spring here, so I'm excited for that. Although tomorrow it's going to be. Why is it that the weekend just has the worst weather, and then in the middle of the week it's just so nice out?
How bad is it? Are we talking? Like, how bad are we talking?
In the 30s tomorrow.
Oh my God, you're right. High of 38 tomorrow. This is insane. And then if you look at next week, which is what you can't do. This is what I've learned not to do with the weather. Like next week, Monday to Friday, every day, it says it's going to rain. Thursday, we have a chance of snow. And Friday, snow. Done with that, I thought.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't believe it.
Not fun there. It is nice today. It feels like I should be golfing, doesn't it?
It does feel like a golf day. I wish we were, but we've got too much going on over here.
I think I found our fourth, by the way, for our next FOMC outing.
Oh, okay.
I'll just give you the initials if you want the initials.
Doug's just showing off here. Yeah, what are the initials?
SS. We got to make it work.
He's not gonna go that far.
Mark will.
I don't think so.
Anyway, we're here. We're live. We got a lot to cover. Bots, results, trader trivia, economic events, and everything in between. Ben, I'm going to maybe even put you on the spot and see if you'd be interested in talking about another new mental approach to BenBot, if that's been decided or not yet, and kind of how it fits into the portfolio. We can also do a little plug for our people out there who want to make an intro to a potential partner of ours for copy trading. There's a lot we can talk about today.
Let's do all that, and we got to talk about Bull Trade Finder completing his account doubling challenge. So awesome. We've got a packed agenda today. We can start with BenBot. Why don't we start with BenBot?
Sure. Tell us about it, what you brought up to the team, and how you're looking at it now.
So the approach to BenBot now, let's start from the beginning. BenBot started as a covered call bot, a daily covered call bot on IWM, where we would buy 100 shares of IWM and sell a covered call against it, make adjustments as the day went on, and found that to be profitable. We traded that for almost a complete year, and we made, I think, 14% on it. So not terrible. I mean, when IWM is up like 20% year over year, it's not the best to look at, but hey, still 14% profitable. The problem was, there were two problems. One, very capital intensive. You need a lot of cash to trade the strategy. So a lot of people weren't able to trade it that wanted to trade it.
Yep.
Two, the losses could have been pretty devastating. We had some days where there was, call it $700 losses, $800 losses. And even if you're trading with $26,000, $27,000, nobody likes to see that in their account. So we decided to cut down the size and cut down, and that in turn cut down on the losses. So now we're just going long calls or puts. Sometimes we will sell spreads. I sold an Iron Condor earlier this week and made a nice gain off of that. And we would kind of just and by the way, I made a free indicator on TradingView, which anybody can go and check out. It is called the BenBot. I think it's just called BenBot Alerts, something like that on TradingView. So you could go check that out. It is free, and it shows the signals that I'm using to help me determine if I'm going to enter a position or not. We won't go over all of that right now, but the mentality there is, hey, let's keep trading, and we'll see where the trades end up at the end of the month. So that was the mentality for the month of March. And now that we are getting towards the end of March, I'm looking back at my trade log, looking back at my notes, and I'm kind of seeing myself forcing some trades where I might not have needed to. And if I go in with the mentality of, hey, BenBot is going to be the bot that pays for your PeakBot subscription, I think I'm happy with that. And all that's needed to do that on BenBot is $50 per unit every month. Assume you're maxing out BenBot on 4 units. You really only need like $1,000 to max out BenBot. So it's very, very capital efficient. You do need to be able to trade. That's the only caveat here. But very capital efficient, only need $50. I'll probably shoot for $100, just so that way if people are only trading BenBot, they will get some profit on top of that. But really, cover the cost of PeakBot for you, and maybe make a little bit on top. That way, all of your other bots are just taking home some cash.
Yep. Awesome. And so do you think we'll get a, Doug says, not forcing trades is another thing bots do better than people. That's 100%. For sure.
100%.
That's why our King AI strategy is performing so well, because it knows when to sit. Happy Friday. Showtime.
Happy Friday. Love that handle. Showtime sauce.
Yeah, that's good. So Ben, will we see another new version tab on the results then? Or are we sticking to the same?
No, it's the same strategy. It's just going to be less trades. And we did take a trade today. I'll share screen here. Wait a second, that's not my screen.
That one is. I won't touch anything. You do it.
What's going on? Here it is. We did take a trade today. Made 25 cents on the trade. Bought at 120, caught a little dip down with this put, sold it at 145. And that's a nice 25 cent gainer right there. So realistically, just need 4 of those a month, and we're happy with the BenBot results. Not fully decided, but I think that if I go in with that mentality of don't need to trade all the time, don't need to trade every day, just go with the high conviction signals, things are going to turn out a lot better. And I'm going to just pull open my trading view. That way we can see what I'm looking at. So this is the signal that I took this morning, got into a put right here, TP'd at the bottom of this bar. And that's how I got my 25 cents right there. These are minute bars that we're using. And then what is it called? BenBot entry alert. Yeah, I did it. Now we have exits in there. So if you search BenBot entry alert, the BenBot signal will pop up for you. And that is free on TradingView. You can see there were a bunch of signals yesterday. I did not trade all of them. In hindsight, maybe I should have, because it was a profitable day if we did. So on and so forth. So I expect to see more signals today, but I probably will not be trading anymore today because, hey, we already made 25 cents. That's solid on a strategy that you really only need about $250 for.
So a lot to think about there with BenBot. I wonder if we still will ever find our way to a fully automated system there, you think? Or no? Too touchy-feely?
I don't know. I see we've got the BenBot results sheet. Yeah, so we just have to add that $25 from today. And
we'll get it in there. That'll get us just about... we still got a shot. You can get green for March.
We still got a shot to get green. And the beginning of this month is what, looking back at it and thinking about and going through my notes, that's what really caused me to think like, okay, we don't need to force trades every day. We just need to be smart about our trades.
Yep. So do you see the entries still triggering around almost every day, 20 days a month, you'd say, on 21 average? Or do you see days where you're just sitting out completely, or you're just saying less action throughout the day?
Well, listen, the signals are still going to fire in TradingView every single day.
Yep.
I'm just not going to take all of them.
Okay. And what's your criteria? I'm putting you on the spot, but this is why we do it, right? So when you see an alert fire, what makes you look at it and say, I like it or I don't?
Oh man, well, we could get technical, but I'm looking at a lot of different factors. Let me switch screens here. So something that's not built into the indicator is all of these bars on the right side here. That's the volume profile. So I like to trade off of if we get a signal here, I want to make sure that there's not a huge bar that we're trading into, right? Because that means that there are a lot of contracts owned at that particular price. there's a lot of shares on at that particular price, which means there's probably a line of resistance. So if I want to break through that, I'm going to want to break through. Now, the setup this morning, it's going to be hard to see, but we can see what the volume profile looked like then. This is the bar I entered on. I have to go this far over and kind of blend it in there because I want to show you what I saw, because it'll take in volume profile will take into consideration everything on screen. So what I saw here was we have a lot of volume at, you call it the 246 down to, or 246.20 to down to like 245.80. So like that 40-cent range, a lot of shares traded. You can see that we broke below all of that volume, and now there's very thin volume below that level. So we caught that put and traded down through that thin volume, and we got a really nice trade on that drop there. If I were to get the signal up here, for example, and I saw all this volume below it, I'm probably not going to take that trade.
Right. Okay. So it's helpful. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, right? And that's why you want it to be fully automated for you. And to keep in mind, for those who are watching this, that's, a lot of work going into just a $25, $50 trade. This is the bones. All right. This is the fundamental core of a lot of portfolios. Again, built to break even. And let's go have fun with all the other bots, right? So great job on BenBot today. We'll see if we can get even. We got 2 days left in March next week to see if we can get green. So great job on that. Where do we go from here? I think we got to talk about how King AI won yesterday and how King AI Turbo lost.
Yep, definitely.
And why. And then, Ben, maybe you can pull strikes so we can look at the breathing room between the two. If not, that's totally fine. But we'll look at the result. Huh?
Yesterday's strikes?
Yeah, for both for Kai and Kate, just so we can see why the one won and the other lost. I'll pull up the results here in just a second. Let's see here. Okay, so King AI Turbo, which would won 15 straight trades, okay, made thousands of dollars on that run, finally lost yesterday. And Ben, I believe this got to be updated. I think the loss was 635, not 650, right?
Correct.
We'll take 15 off for this. Okay, perfect. All right, so let me pull this up. I've been saying that for a while, huh? I gotta get Ben's screen off, my screen on, get rid of BenBot. Okay, so right here is King AI Turbo's results sheet. You can visit King AI, PeakBot.com/King AI Turbo results, and you'll be brought here for the results per 1 unit, per 1 condor. Okay, so here it is. When we take a closer look here, we finally lost. Here's the streak that we were on. All right, I think the bot made $3,324 on 15 trades before a loss, and we finally got reset. What's that?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. We finally got a lot, and I don't want to say of course I wasn't predicting it, but we're all looking at this saying, okay, well, something's going to give soon, and it did. Now, the premium collected, was it a full loss, Ben? Did we collect the complete? Okay,
we collected a lot of premium. It was $365 in premium, and we'll take a look at the strikes. We'll see why.
All right, so 365 is what we earned. We risked it for the biscuit to get 365, and we lost the rest. Okay, so we lost 635. Now, King AI yesterday risked half that biscuit. Okay, it was looking for $170 in premium, and we got it. Okay, we didn't fly too close to the sun. We ended up, I think at the end of the day, back half of the day, got back to where we needed to be. So Ben, if you have the strikes up for both of them, I can give this back over to you really quick.
I do, yeah. Switch the screens on over here.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is yesterday. I'll draw some vertical lines here. This is yesterday, this window right here. These green lines are the strike prices that were sold. So the top one is King AI Turbo. The bottom one is King AI. King AI sold at the 10 delta on the put side. Good thing that it did, because we needed every ounce of that 10 delta with a close at around 64.77 when our strike was 64.70. So we won by about $7. That was nice to see. And while King AI was being conservative and placed at the 10 delta, King AI Turbo said, hold my beer, and placed at the 25 delta.
Wow, that's got to be
Crazy.
the highest it's been. One of the highest.
Hey,
delta.
it's aggressive, man. It gets aggressive. All for naught, though, because as we see, price blew right through that sold strike and the bought strike. So through that entire spread for a max loss here, which really isn't that bad considering how much was won, how much credit was earned on the trade. $635, you're going to make that up in 2 or 3 trades.
Yep. Last time on King AI Turbo. Sorry?
Specifically on King AI Turbo.
Mm-hmm. The last loss we had was $850. Okay, $850 loss back in February on the 12th, and we recovered from that in just 4 trades, which is awesome. So Ben, let me ask you this question philosophically. Okay, our mindset, not financial advice, is, hey, when King AI loses, we like to throw on Turbo, right? Because rate of recovery. Now, when King AI Turbo loses, I think both arguments can be made, because I know where you're going to come from this. My argument is maybe you can call it the same as King AI. King AI Turbo loses, just looking at it, just statistically since live, we should be coming back on a heater. Of course, this is roulette, and every day is a complete separate battle, right? Nothing has to do with the past. But do you think that way? Because I'll tell you, this morning I'm like, do I flip Turbo back on coming off of a loss here? Because I'm feeling good about it. But I think what you're going to say is we've seen a $2,000 drawdown on about 3 or 4 losers compounding. Yeah. Not since live, but almost just before we launched it.
No, we've seen multiple times where King AI Turbo took consecutive losses, and I think only once in history has King AI, the non-turbo version, taken consecutive losses. So I would stick to I am sticking to King AI.
Yep. Okay. I'm the same. I did not flip it back on, but I'll tell you what, this is another decision I'm getting ready to make. In my one larger account, it's not large compared to most, but in my second account, I am thinking about turning on both. One of each, because I want to be there. I want to feel both. I want to enjoy the spoils of both when we're being spoiled, and I want to have one counteract the other. And if I have to take a double L, then I'll fall on that sword. That's fine. But I think I'm ready. I need, like most people, I want King AI to lose. So I don't actually want that. But statistically speaking, if they both were to reset at the same day, it would be lovely. And I would just absolutely.
Do you have the King AI results sheet up? Or just
yeah. And I have something else to tell you, Ben. I have live results for my own account, because what I've been doing is, I don't have it on screen, but I could pull it up. So every time, Ben, my Tradier account, when I hit 5K, when I get to a certain gain, I'm pulling out and coming back down to 5K. So, it's that time of year, got to pay the tax man, right? Looking at my account. Now, I pulled out, I reset my account to 5K on December 4th, Ben. December 4th, my Tradier account was at 5K. Today, I just withdrew $3,061 because that's the gain on top from December 4th. So my account was at $8,061. I pulled out 3K. Okay. Reset back at 5. So what I'm saying is, in the last 4 months, between King AI and Turbo, 1 unit, never both at the same time, but I did dabble in both. Over $3,000 return in 4 months. That's about $760 a month. Well, fun.
I mean, so all you did in that account was trade King AI or King AI Turbo.
Oh, you know what? I lied. I sprinkled Shorbo in there for a little bit. I bet Shorbo was responsible for about 1,000 of it, truthfully, because if you remember, Shorbo was on a heater in February, and I rode half of it. So you're right. I'm sorry. Right. Shorbo too. But still, that's the idea. We want to be trading as many strategies as possible. But that's fun. That's fun to have done today. I feel like a prop trader, you know. I'm just pulling my cash out, you know.
Except you could pull your cash out. You're not going to get any resistance pulling it out.
Yeah, exactly. Ben, let's hit trader trivia. Let's give it to the people. I'll switch up the music.
Switch it on over. So if you guys like what you're hearing in terms of the results that we've been seeing, I mean, Dillon himself with just $5,000 in an account was able to withdraw $3,000 earlier this week. That's just incredible to hear. Love that. Love those kinds of stories. And we get those kinds of stories all the time. Here is your opportunity to try this software that we've been talking about that's producing these kinds of results. We have an old promo on here.
Oh no.
Don't read that promo. You're going to get a free month of PeakBot if you answer this question correctly and send that answer to experience@peakbot.com. This is for new subscribers only. The question to answer and email us is, what does the PE ratio compare? Is it A, price to earnings, B, price to equity, C, profit to expenses, or D, price to exchange? Think about that. Send your answer to experience@peakbot.com to not get a discount for the TWM bot, but to get a free month of PeakBot, all of our bots.
All of our bots. And TWM is great. We love trading with mine. Yeah. But that was Friday. You know, this is today. Or maybe the Friday prior?
No, last week. It had to be last week. Yeah.
Crazy.
Otherwise, we would have had this conversation last week.
Twice. I don't know what day it is, man. I just want to golf. All right, let's give it a fun fact.
Did you know that fractional share investing became mainstream after 2020, allowing small investors to buy a portion of high-priced stocks like Amazon? Who was the first broker to do that? Was it Robinhood? Can you do a Google on that real quick?
I'll Google it.
First to offer fractional shares. So instead of needing thousands of dollars to purchase a full share, investors could now purchase or invest with just a small amount to gain exposure to some of the world's largest companies. And this innovation has made investing far more accessible and inclusive, opening the market to a new generation of retail investors, allows for better diversification so you can spread your money across multiple tickers instead of concentrating in just one. Who is it, Dillon? Who's the first one?
All right, so it's not what we think. I'm going to give you the Google answer here because it's interesting.
Okay.
There's one thing that we didn't think of, like Wealthfront, Betterment, Stash. Those guys were doing it for a while. Okay. The robo-advisors were doing it for a while behind closed doors, if you will, right? And then there's actually an OG here, buyandhold.com from 1999.
No.
Okay, so who was the first to offer fractional shares? Buyandhold.com pioneered fractional shares in 1999, allowing customers for a subscription fee. However, modern was 2010s. We had the big dogs, robo-advisors come in on it. 2017, by the way, my nails painted when I bought it. 2017, M1 Finance. So M1 Finance there's not prop. That's
no, I think they were like robo-advisor type.
Okay.
I think they're still around actually.
So IBKR is actually the first major broker to offer it, and then Robinhood came in past it. And then Fidelity and Schwab. So yeah, look, it's a trend. Last 20 years, everybody, you can see the big dogs continue to hop in here. So yeah, Schwab doesn't have that. Schwab doesn't have that to the average retail trader, do they?
I didn't think so.
I'm not ready to give them that credit here today on the Tradier Hub. I'm not ready to give them that credit.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about them anymore unless it's like, because we're pumping up Tradier. But let's just see. Does Schwab offer fractional shares? Yes. Oh, Schwab stock slices program. Minimum of $5.
I guess you gotta join the program.
Okay, interesting. All right. So,
Well, you guys had plenty of time to email us an answer here.
oh yeah.
So the answer is A, price to earnings. The PE ratio compares how a company's stock price compares to its earnings per share, EPS. Shows how much investors are willing to pay for each dollar of earnings. So a higher PE ratio may indicate that investors expect future growth, while a lower PE ratio can indicate investors suspect that the stock is undervalued or growing more slowly. It's kind of crazy to look at PE ratios of companies these days. I mean, sometimes they're 50 plus, meaning for every dollar that the company's making, you're valuing it 50 times that dollar that the company's making, which blows my mind from like a market cap and valuation perspective.
Right. I think this was a good trader trivia. I think people had the opportunity to get in. It wasn't the easiest one. I mean, normally there's total softballs, but no, that was a good one. So, geez, where do we go from here, Ben? So we covered BenBot, we covered King AI, we covered King AI Turbo. Let's just look at Shorebo quickly. As I tell people, Shorebo's my on and off. I got to have a switch with Shorebo. So it lost yesterday for 320. All right. But Ben, can I tell you, I was on the phone with one of our investors earlier and I was just talking shop and I was saying, hey, let me tell you my approach to Shorebo. Because again, I took a lot of these wins from February and didn't have a lot of these losses in March that we're seeing. And I shouldn't say a lot, but for example here, let me just pull this back up. This is our Shorebo strategy, our orb opening range breakout strategy on SPX, short orb. So February was nuts. I think this was the best month it's ever had. I traded practically every day, which is crazy. It's more than usual. $1,700, almost $1,800 in returns. That's on $500 in cash being used. Okay, so 500 made almost 1,800 in that time. Now, when I look at March here, okay, we're down 378 contract. I'm seeing 2, 4, 6 losses, and I'm seeing 2, 4, 6, 8 wins. Okay, so I'm looking at this now, Ben. I know that Shorebo, with 10 years of backtest data as well as live trades, wins around 71, 72% of the time. I'm blocking myself monthly.
Okay.
Can you guess the last time? So meaning if we have a red month and we're below 72% average win rate, I'm flipping it on. And if we have a green month and we're above a 72% win rate or whatever the average is, I'm turning it off. That's kind of the lens in which I'm thinking here. Because if you look back at this recently, we haven't had 2 red months since last August. So March, red so far. Doesn't mean it's going to stay red. February, unbelievable. January, just red. December, green. November, red. Very red. October, green. September, red. So this bot has broken even since we launched it. Okay, if this was the only bot you're trading, you're not happy. And if you traded it the whole time, you're probably like, whatever. But
so wait, have you gone back and looked at how your approach would have performed?
No. You want to
do that live or no?
No, I want you to do it either now or later.
Oh, okay.
No, not my performance, but I can, Ben, because my whole thought was, look, we launched it in July. Okay.
Doug, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Well, we are an automation company, and God knows it ain't because of me. All right. If you want to automate that, look, we're working Shorebo in the background. We're working a number of different back tests and updates to the strategy, right? Still, Orbit AI is getting some love right now. That's like the updated version of this, but I will go back. But the bot net is down $400 since launch. You know, so that's not obviously it's not profitable, but if you know how to play it, you can see this thing gets hot and cold. So it's a matter of playing it. I think my either week to week or month to month approach of reverting to the mean is how I'm going to stick with this. But anyway, so that's all the bots. Vertical Wheel's doing its thing. Although Ben, you still holding TQs probably, and you're probably paying. Did you turn that off? Did you make the decision? I'm done paying debits to hold these shares.
No, I kept it on this week, and the put's going to pay off because we are below the put value.
Okay.
It was a $40 strike. TQQQ is trading at 39.70 currently.
Okay.
So that put could get exercised at the end of the day today, and I could wind up selling my shares and
For a
then
$10
starting the
loss.
process over on Monday.
Yep. Hey, it's about time, right? We've been bearish for how long? How long we been bearish, Ben?
Oh, at least 6 weeks.
And what are we down on the year? We're going to talk more about this because our bots
I
are
think
making
the market's
some-
down like 5% on the year. Don't
the
quote
year?
me on that.
Okay.
Not 100% sure.
That's close to that. Okay. Awesome. Well, Ben, I think we covered it. Let's hit economic events maybe and get out of here.
Economic events. Let's do that. I don't know why. One second. I don't know why it's not showing up full screen like normal. Well, I'll share it anyway. Who cares?
All right, man.
Who cares?
Just hit it.
Okay. Oh, well, I guess that's why we care. Where did it go now? All right, I'll do that. So, looking at Monday, we got a Jay Powell speech on Monday morning. Was not aware of that. I'm going to look into what he's going to be talking about there. That might be, if VIX isn't turning bots off today, I think that would be turning the 1DT bots off today. So the overnight stuff. Looking from Monday into Tuesday, we got some jobs data in the morning. Looking into the afternoon, not much applicable to us. Tuesday into Wednesday, some retail data, some Fed speeches. Very specific time for a Fed speech there at 9:13. Not sure if that's a typo or not. We got some PMI data. Nothing else really at the end of till the rest of the day. Nothing much on Thursday. And then we've got non-farm payrolls on Friday. So King Condor, not King AI, not King AI Turbo, but King Condor will be off from Thursday into Friday. Now King AI Turbo could be off if the bot chooses to be off, but will not be shut off for non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll, however, is known to blow up our King Condor trades.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, generally quiet week next week, other than NFP on Friday and a Jay Powell speech early on Monday.
Awesome. Thank you
That's
for
it.
that. I have the, for whatever reason, you'd think it'd be so much quicker on a Google search to find, the YTD on SPX, or SPY rather, but it looks like since December 26th, we are down 8.24%. So that last 3 months, okay, which is almost exactly YTD. The market is down 7.28%. That's at least the S&P index. That's not SPY. But okay, so Ben, I think we get out of here, man.
Okay.
All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. The bots are hot, people, specifically the King family. That's what we should probably just. It's the King family.
I call it the King Suite.
King Suite. The Kings are sweet. So check us out. All of our bots are fully automated trading, hands-free trade execution, fully live and transparent results, and customer support like you've never seen before. So come to us, ask us questions, see if you qualify for our products. Just need $5,000 in cash and a Tradier account. Sure, there's other brokers. Tradier account, and we will help you out. Thanks so much. We will be live again Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Doug, you have a great weekend. Same to everybody else. See you at the peak. Take care.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.